This video, we will review the top shortcuts for Figma from this blog from Top Coder. Okay, so the top shortcuts for Figma. Figma has shortcuts that increase designer productivity, which can help, you understand the reason for using shortcuts. All right. So listing all the Figma keyboard shortcuts, Control, Shift, and question mark. Control and Shift. And then what else? So keyboard shortcut identifies all the available resources and helpful information to handle Figma functionality. And the keyboard shortcut for all that information can be accessed by pressing the Control, Shift, question mark button. So let me see if I can open up Figma here real quick and log myself in. Continue with Google. And let's just do a new design file. So Control Shift question mark. Okay, so that's interesting. So what that Control Shift question mark did here is it brought up a menu on the bottom with the help. And here I can check shortcuts of the different stuff. So that's really cool. Essential tools: view, zoom, text, shape, selection, cursor, edit, transform, arrange, and components. Showing assets, team library, creating a component, detaching instances. Inserting is Shift I. Showing assets is Option 2. Team library is Option Command O. Creating component is Option Command K. Create K. Detach is Option Command B. And swapping component instances is just Option. So that's component. Let's look at the layout. Keyboard, generic. I see, this is if you want to change your keyboard layout. Mine is correct, so I'll leave it there. Arranging things, bringing them forward, sending them back, bringing them to the front, sending them to the back, aligning left, right, top, bottom, centers. Distribute the spacing, tidy up, or add the auto layout, which is Shift A, which I've heard is really important. The auto layout feature, I don't really know how to use it yet. Removing the auto layout is Option Shift A. Option Shift A. Okay, Shift A and Option Shift A. That's good to know. Option Shift A and Shift A. Option A is for left. Okay, so the left right is using the ASWD as the up and down and the left and right. So AD are the left right, W and S are the top and bottom. H and V are the centers, horizontal and vertical. So you can do basically these keys with Option for alignments. And then distributing spacing is Control Option H and Control Option V to do horizontal. And so if you're aligning it, you'll just use the Option key with the H and V, and if you want to space it, distribute the spacing, you will use with the Control. And then tidying up is Control Option T. Bringing forward is Command with the closing bracket. Sending backwards is with the Option open bracket. So the earlier bracket and the later bracket. So the earlier one will move it backwards. The later one will move it forwards. And then if you do it without the option, it will bring it to the very front. And if you do it without the option, it can take it to the very back with the bracket as well. Cool. The transform is Flipping horizontal, flipping vertical, using as a mask, edit shape or image, place image, set opacity. And so let's take a look at setting the opacity to 0, 10, 50, or 100. You will basically do Shift 0 for 100%, Shift 5 for 50%, Shift 1 for 10%. I wonder if Shift 2 will do 20%. Did we say something else for Shift 2? No, that was Option 2 for showing assets. All right. And then Shift 0, 0 will set it to 0%. Interesting. So 1 0 is 100%. No, 2 zeros is 0% with a shift. That's for opacity. For editing an image or shape, you would select it and press enter. To place an image, you would press Shift Command K. And then if you want to create, it was Option Command K. Okay, so to place, you do Shift Command K, and to create component, you do Option Command K. Flipping horizontal or vertical is Shift with an H or Shift with a V. Remember, these arranges also had H and V, but that was with the option. So with the option, it will align centers. And with option control, H and V will distribute the spacing, and with the option, with the Shift H and Shift V, it will flip your element or shape or whatever it is. And then you can use something as a mask by pressing Control Command M. All right. And getting out to the edit, like cutting, copying, pasting is the usual Command C, Command V, Command X for cutting. Pasting to replace, paste to replace is Shift Command R. Paste over the selection is Shift Command V. Duplicating is Command D. Renaming is Command R. And then exporting is Shift Command E. Finding is Command F. So copying as a PNG is Shift Command C. Copying properties is Option Command C. And then pasting properties is Option Command V. So that's the edit menu. Let's go over to the cursor. If you want to move or measure to selection while pointing, you will use the Option key. And if you want to duplicate a selection while moving, you will use an Option key. You can do a deep select with Option click. You can do a deep select with rectangle with an Option drag. You can resize things from the center using the Option button. While resizing, you can resize proportionally by doing a shift. For example, if you wanted to make a square or a circle instead of an oval or a rectangle. And then copying images while ignoring constraints is with the Command button. So that's your cursor while resizing. Selections, you can select everything: inverse, none, deep select, select the children parent, select the next sibling, select previous sibling, select all the matching layers. You can group selections, ungroup selections, and frame selection, show or hide a selection, lock or unlock a selection. So quite a bit you can do with selections here. Select all is Command A. Selecting the inverse is Command A with the Shift key. Selecting nothing is Escape key. Deep select is Command and click. Select children is Enter. I think that's kind of the same. Oh, okay, so like, I see, if you're selecting some sort of a layer and you want to select as children, you can just press enter. Selecting the parent is a backslash. Selecting the next sibling, you can tab through things. You can shift tab to go backwards as you are selecting next or previous. You can select all the matching layers with option command A. You can group with command G. You can ungroup with command backspace. Interesting. I would have thought that's going to be command U, but I guess that's command backspace. Frame selection, you can do option command G. Okay. I don't know if frame selection, group selection are somehow related. Showing and hiding a selection is shift command H. And locking and unlocking is shift command L. So that's for selections. Let's take a look at shapes. So here you can shift around between pen, pencil, paint bucket while editing a shape, or bend tool, removing a fill, removing stroke, swap fill in stroke, outline stroke, flatten selection, join selection. After selecting points, you can join it, or you can smooth the join selection or delete and heal selection. Okay. So P is for pen, Shift P is for pencil. While you're editing, B is for the paint bucket, and then Command is for the bend tool. Removing a fill is Option backslash. Removing a stroke is Shift backslash. Swap fill and stroke is Command X. Outline stroke is Command Shift O. Flattening a selection is Command E. I wonder why it's Command E. Maybe because Command F was taken for finding things. I believe it was. Yes. Yep. Command F was in the edit menu for finding things. Okay. So Command E is for the flattening of a selection, and then joining a selection is Command J, and smoothing it is Shift Command J. And delete and heal a selection is Shift backspace. Okay, so that's for the shapes. Let's go over the text. So you can have bold, italic, underline, creating link, strike through, turning into list, text align left, center, right, justified. So these are all as option command L, T, R, and J for left. T is for center, R is for right, and J is for justified. Adjusting the font size, you can basically do Shift Command and then the left or right arrows to make it bigger, smaller. Adjusting the font weight is Command Option with the arrows. Adjusting the letter spacing is Option with the arrows, and adjusting the line height is Option Shift with the arrows. I guess adjusting the font size would be the most common, so that one is Shift Command. All right, so the bold italic, this is the usual Command B, Command I, Command U. Creating links is Command K. Striking through is Command X with Shift. Command X, I think, was cutting, right? That's probably why they added a shift to the strike through, just to make sure. Command X is indeed cut in the edit menu, in the text menu, so strike through is Command X with a shift. Turning things into a list is Shift Command 7 and 8. Okay. I don't know why they picked 7 and 8, but that's what they did. All right, so zooming, you can do various things while using Figma for zooming. Panning is space drag, so you just hold down the space key and drag around to pan. Zoom in is Command plus. Zoom out is Command minus. Now let's remember the command with the shift was to adjust the actual font size. And command with the option was to adjust the font size. So, okay. And then command with plus minus are zooming in. Command 0 is 100, zoom to 100%. Zooming to fit, zooming to selection, zoom to next frame, zoom to previous frame are 1, 2, 1 to zoom to fit, 2 for zooming selection, zoom to next frame is N, zoom to previous frame is Shift N, previous page is page up, next page, page down, find previous frame is home. Finding the next frame is end. Now, my Mac laptop keyboard does not have a home and end. Interesting. So I'm not sure how I can use the home and end on a Mac keyboard for finding previous or next frames. Or even the page up, page down. Maybe there's a way, I don't know. Okay. Viewing is show or hide the UI, multiplayer cursors, rulers, outlines, pixel preview, layout grids, pixel grid, open layers panel, libraries, open the design panel, open the prototype panel, open the inspect panel. So option 1, 2, 8, 9, 0 are the different panels that you can open up. Rulers are basically Command R, or Shift R. Command R was something else. I think Command R, Shift R was pasting to replace. Command R was to rename things. All right, so here we have Shift R for, so basically with Shift you can open different panels, except for the design panel is Shift Command P. Or sorry, this is the Shift is for the rulers, outlines, pixel preview, these guys. These opening panels is the option 1, 2, 8, 9, 0 as we saw. Okay, multiplayer cursors is Command Option \, showing hiding is Command \. Going on to tools. So you have a bunch of tools here like rectangle and ellipse and line tool, arrow tool, text tool. So you can press various keys. That's interesting. So when to draft, when to file. Okay, let's say that I was to insert here and then I wanted to create text. So I can just press T. Now if I want to create a rectangle, there it is. Awesome. Now if I want to auto layout, I can do Shift A. Interesting. Right. All right. And then O is to create the circle. So these things are under the tool here. O, R, T. Line tool is L. Okay, cool. Right. Arrow tool is Shift L. Adding a comment is C. Okay. And then if I pick it, I can delete it, I suppose. What can I do to delete this guy? Delete thread. Okay. And then move tool is V. Frame tool is F. That brings up this menu of the different frames. Pen tool is P. Pencil is Shift P. All right, awesome. So that's the tools. Now the essentials are showing and hiding the UI is Command \. Command backslash. Okay, so that does that. Picking a color is Control C. So that can help me pick colors. And quick actions is Command /. So that brings up this little quick action search. Okay, so I think that is all of the shortcuts that we have that we can go over. Let's just quickly check here in the blog if there's anything else. So we got that entire menu with Control Shift question mark. So that was very useful. We talked about creating objects. We talked about scrolling and navigation. To navigate across the elements of the Figma page, just click the H button, which will allow you to drag and view the content clearly. So if we're here, we click the H button and we can do this. I see we could also do space and drag, I think. That's what... Yep, we can also do space and drag. Just pressing H though holds the cursor, so I like that. Configuring and setting the opacity of an element, we spoke about that. Can press the different 1, 2, 3, 4 for the opacity, which was under transform here. You can do with the Shift 0, 1, like different numbers. Let's try it out. Shift 0, Shift 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all of them work from 1 to 9, to 0 to give me the different shift. I don't know how I do this Shift 0, 0 thing. Shift 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I just have to press zeros very quickly. Okay, cool. How to zoom in and out, holding Shift +1, 2, or 0, holding the Z button on the keyboard can also do this. Okay, Z, and then can I drag it? Let me see, H here, cool. Alright, so there's that. Resizing and nudging with arrow keys, holding Shift key as you press the arrow keys to move the object around, adding auto layout and grouping objects, we talked about that. Color picker, we spoke about. Clicking the I button on the keyboard helps Figma users to call the color picker with one click. Searching rapidly on Figma is Command +/, Control +/. Hiding showing layout grids. I thought we said, okay, this is Control Shift 4. Was that in the layout grid? Hiding, shifting. I don't remember seeing that in this menu. Did I miss it? I remember seeing the hide show UI, but I don't remember seeing the hide show for the grid. In fact, I don't remember anything about seeing the grid done here, did I? I don't see it. Alright, well, here it is. Layout grids. Shift G. Okay. Let's go back here. Duplicating objects can be done with Control D or Command D for Mac. Aligning elements we did speak about. So we got a few more like Command D to duplicate stuff. Summary of Figma keyboard, keywords, tools, view. zoom text, creating shapes, element selection, spelled wrong here in the blog, editing Figma elements, duplicating, pasting, copying, pasting, cutting, renaming. We spoke about these things, arranging elements and components. Cool. So that's it for this video. We have gone through all the different Figma shortcuts, and I'm now feeling more confident next time I use Figma to be a little faster, because I know a bunch of the shortcuts and I know how to press Control Shift question mark to bring up the shortcut menu and review them as well. I'll see you guys in another video later.